Hello everyone, my name is Aman and I have got some amazing tips and tricks for XLOOKUP in Excel for you. XLOOKUP is an amazing tool. It can easily replace VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, index match and even index match. We'll talk about what are the amazing features of XLOOKUP and we will also explore how you can use it in your day-to-day life. I'll teach you how to use XLOOKUP from the very basics. Stay on till the end. I do have one that is going to be absolutely amazing one. So let's check out how to use XLOOKUP. What are the basics of it? So in here I have a table for you. We have first name, full name, ID, region. These are months and these are sales numbers. These are salaries of these employees along with their employee IDs. What happened to this one? Let me just check it out. Right, so Anna actually has AL28. I must have missed it while I was practicing it. Alright, so let's check it out how you can use XLOOKUP at the very basic of it. So in here we have first name Anna and I want the ID of her. So first name Anna right here, ID should be AL28. So this right here should be XLOOKUP. What is my lookup value? My lookup value is Anna. What is my lookup array? Where am I searching for Anna? So I am searching for Anna right here, comma, the return array. What value do I want when I find Anna? So when I find Anna right here, I want to return the ID. So this is the column that I'm looking for and that is it. We can ignore the optional parameters for now. We'll explore that in just a moment. You can do just this much and this is it. Okay, so we have Anna AL28. Now you may ask what's the difference between this one and VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP could have done the exact same thing. The difference here is in VLOOKUP, it is always the first column which is the lookup column and can return any column that is to the right. But XLOOKUP can not only return columns to the right, it can also return column to the left. Apart from that, XLOOKUP can also replace HLOOKUP. Not only can it return data from below my lookup column, but also right from above it, replacing index match as well. Let's check out more features of it. So in here, of course, like I said, we can also return the values that are to the left of the column. So right here, I have ID and I want to return the first name. So ID is right here. The returning array is right here. So I'll do the same thing is equal to XLOOKUP. The lookup value is right here. The lookup array is right here, the return array is right here and I don't need to do anything else, just press enter and I've got JW56 right here, which is James. Let's move ahead, moving on to the next trick. So here we have using XLOOKUP with drop down list. Now instead of actually having to type ID or name as we did previously, we can simply use drop downs as well. How do we do that? So let's say that I have the first name right here. We have all of these first names and I want to drop down right here so that I can select a name instead of typing it out and I want their ID to appear right here. So in this case, I'll simply go to data. We'll go to data validation. In this case, it has to be a list. So I am going to select the source of this list right here, clicking OK. So now as you can see, I've got a drop down arrow right here. So if I select this, I can select John, Emily, Mike, Sarah, David, and any of those. Let's select Brian and I want their ID. So again, it's pretty much the same thing, is equal to XLOOKUP. This is my lookup value. This is my lookup array. And this is my return array. Nothing else needs to be done. Pressing enter and we have Brian BH42, Brian BH42. So this way it's obviously much easier to change as compared to the previous values. You can simply select maybe let's say Sarah and you get Sarah SA12. So Sarah SA12. Maybe I want to select someone else. Let's say Emily. So we have Emily EB17 and Emily EB17. Let's move ahead to the next trick. Now here we can use XLOOKUP with wildcards. This is an absolutely amazing feature. Now, what do I mean by wildcards right here? So let's say I have a partial name right here. Let's say just ME. Okay. Now I can get the full name or I can get the first name, but let's try to get the full name in this particular case. So I have a name starting with ME and I want the full name right here. Okay. Now, of course, looking at this right here, ME clearly implies Megan Young here. If I had, let's say JA right here, then it would have been James White and of course not John Carter. So how do we use XLOOKUP with wildcards. Amazing feature right here. So in this case, we have is equal to XLOOKUP. The lookup value is this, but here comes the modification. What you need to add here is an AND asterisk. Okay, you need to add this asterisk symbol. This means that any character and any number of characters can be present right after D20 or right after JA. Alright, this means that any number of characters can be right after JA. So I'll show you, I'll explain that to you in just a second when we take more examples. So we have this comma. What is my lookup array? So my full name is where I am looking up where JA exists. What am I returning? I'm also returning the full name as well. I'm trying to look up JA right here and I'm going to return whatever the full name is. Now here comes the tricky part. If not found, well, I'm not concerned with this right now. We'll check it out in a further example. So I'm going to hit another comma right here. This part is important right here. So it is asking me what is the match mode. Is it an exact match? Is it an exact match or the next smaller item? Is it an exact match or the next larger item, or is it a wildcard character match? Yes, it is a wildcard character match because I've added an asterisk right here. So I'll select this right here. I can also press 2 and that's it. That is all that I need. I'm going to press enter and we have JA for James White. Okay. Now let's say if I did ME, we get Megan Young. Now there is a clarification that you should have right here. Let's say if there are multiple matches, it will always return. Let's see what will it return. So let's say I go for J, okay, because we have John Carter right here. We also have James White right here. So if I just say J, you will notice that it always gives you just the first value. This is something that you do need to keep in mind. So I have, let's say if I want Mike Harris, I could just do MI and I get Mike Harris right here. Let's move on to the next trick. So in this case, I'm going to show you how XLOOKUP can replace HLOOKUP as well. Not only can it return data from below the lookup value, it can also return data from an array that is above of my lookup value. So in this case here, I have, let's say, the first name Emily. This is of course the same data, just transposed. We have in the previous cases we had headers right here, but in this particular case we have headers right here. Exact same data, just transposed. So I have first name Emily. Emily is right here. And I want what is their sales number in March. What is their sales number in March? So I'll do something like this is equal to XLOOKUP. As you can see, I'm replacing HLOOKUP right here. So the lookup value is right this. What is my lookup array? My lookup array is this. What is my return array? Since it's March, I'm going to select this one. And that's about it. Pressing enter. And then we get Emily 456 in March. So Emily March 456. Now, we can also use XLOOKUP to return a value that is above of the lookup array. So let's say we have region right here. Okay, I have region right here and I have to return the first name. So using region, I have to return the first name. This obviously was not possible with the HLOOKUP. You had to use index match, making it 3 formulas: VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, index match. Okay, but XLOOKUP can replace all of those. So how do we do it in this case? Pretty much the same thing. Is equal to XLOOKUP. Lookup value is Boston right here. Boston is right here, comma. What is the return array? Return array is the first name right here. Nothing else needs to be done. Pressing enter. And we get Boston is Mike. Let's check out the next one. So in this case, if there is a value that is missing, how can you handle those? Now sometimes XLOOKUP may handle that on its own, but let's check it out. If it's unable to handle that on its own, how can you provide it with some default values? Let's check it out. So let's say that the first name here, although we have John, Emily, Mike, Sarah, David, Anna, James, Laura, Brian, Megan, I see that we don't have a Harry. Okay, so let's put Harry right here and I want the sales number of Harry for the month of January. So I'm going to do is equal to XLOOKUP. I'm going to look up Harry in the first name, comma, in the January column. And let's see what happens. Okay, clearly Harry is not present right here. So I'm going to press enter and it shows NA. Of course, if this was VLOOKUP, we would have put up a formula, something like if error or if NA, then do something like that. In case of XLOOKUP, the formula is baked in. So how can you do that? Let me show you. If you'll notice right here, if not found. Okay, so putting a comma right here. What do you want if the formula is not found? I can either return a 0 right here. Let me press that. So it has returned me 0. But let's say if I want to say that value not found, that I can do that also. Instead of writing 0, I can say agent not found. Agent not found. And if you'll notice, if I don't have that particular person, it will say agent not found. Of course, I can check it. If I say if I say Megan, then yes, Megan for the month of January, it was 372. And if I say, let's say Ron, now I know you know where am I getting the characters from. If I say Ron, again, agent not found. Let's move on to the next one. Now, in this case, I'm going to show you how you can replace index match using XLOOKUP. Again, pretty simple. So here what we have is first name and the month, and I want to find out the sales for that. Of course, this is variable, this is variable. I'm going to add something better here. I'm going to change both of these into drop downs just to make it more interesting. So let's say for the first name, I'm going to add a drop down right here, list, source, first names right here. For the month, I'm going to again add a drop down right here. This is again going to be a list. The source is this. Okay, so now I have drop downs in both the columns. Let's check it out. So let's say first name Anna, and month, let's put it as April. Anna, April. Now, what are the sales figure for Anna for the month of April? I'm going to use is equal to XLOOKUP. What is the lookup value? So my lookup value is Anna, comma, what is the lookup array right here? So my lookup array is this one, okay, comma, what is the return array? But for return array, I'm going to select XLOOKUP, this thing right here, return array right here, 401 and 401. So how do we do that? In this case, we are going to have to use a nested XLOOKUP. So how do we do that? Is equal to, we'll put an XLOOKUP. The lookup value is, let's say Anna. The lookup array is right here. Now, for the return array, here we are going to have to put the next or the nested XLOOKUP. So I'm going to put XLOOKUP right here. What is my lookup value? My lookup value is April. Where am I looking it up? I am looking it up right here. And what is my return array? This is important right here. In here, you should select this entire data set. Okay, all of the first names, all of the months, and the entire sales data, and that's it. Okay, close both the XLOOKUP, press enter, we get Anna, April 401. Let's check it out. So we have Anna, we have April, and yes, we do have 401. Let's say I want to change it to James for the month of March, James March 411. So James March 411. Okay, now that's it that I have for you for this particular video. I do have several more tricks for you lined up in our next video. Stay tuned, and if you like this video, do hit the subscribe button and do hit the like button as well. This motivates me to make more videos that are going to be just as useful for you. Drop in a comment if you have anything that you would like to add. That's it from my side. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.